Why are the US-Iran negotiations failing? Why are the ceasefires failing? Wrong question. Because what you are watching is not failed diplomacy. It's a controlled conflict. And the most uncomfortable truth is Iran is not losing the game, but it is also not playing it correctly. Look at the situation right now. Ceasefire exists, but strikes are still happening. Israel and US both signal they can resume war anytime. Negotiations go nowhere. This is not a peace. This is a loop, and loops don't break on their own. Let's break the narrative. Let's remove the illusion first. You are being told US-Iran talks are ongoing, diplomacy is active, resolution is possible. But the reality says something else. Israel is preparing for a long-term conflict. Iran is sustaining pressure, global power are managing, not resolving. Even after weeks of war, no decisive outcome, no closure. Even when a ceasefire is pushed, like in Lebanon, it doesn't come from resolution. It comes between Iran and Israel. It comes from the pressure on the US and the pressure that US transfers to Israel, which means the system adjusts without the core confrontation between Iran and Israel resolved. So understand this clearly. This is not a failure of peace. This is a system that avoids peace. Iran's current strategy. Now look at Iran. Who is it actually playing against? What is it doing? Strait of Hormuz pressure, proxy warfare across the region, attack extending into neighboring countries, tit-for-tat retaliation against the US and Israeli strikes, mirroring response instead of redefining the conflict, oil and shipping disruption. But look closely. Iran is playing this game against US, not Israel. This is the misalignment. Because US is not the point of decision, it is the shield, the intervention layer, the actor that absorbs pressure, not the one that is forced to decide. So by directing pressure at the US, Iran is engaging the protector, not the pressure point. The pressure point is actually Israel. If you are here for clarity over noise, hit like and subscribe. And stay tuned, we are just getting started. So capability is not the issue, alignment is the core problem. And that's where the breakdown begins. Because battlefield and negotiation table are not aligned. Look carefully. Israel hits and Iran hits back. Israel escalates and Iran responds. Which means Israel sets the tempo and Iran follows the rhythm. And when the pressure rises beyond a limit, US steps in not to end the conflict but to regulate it. Like in Lebanon, where the ceasefire was not accepted as a strategic outcome between Iran and Israel, but was imposed as a pressure response from US, which again shows Israel is not being directly forced at the decision point, and in any conflict, the one who sets the regime controls the outcome. Like in Lebanon, not resolution, just control. So what would it actually take? Not missiles, not retaliation, a shift in the game itself. Right now, Israel understands Iran. It knows its limits, the red lines, the response structure. That's why it doesn't negotiate, because nothing surprises it. To change that, Iran would need to become unpredictable, not random, but strategically ruthless, where actions don't match the triggers. Because the moment predictability breaks, control breaks. Right now, Iran is reacting. It is mirroring Israel's script. To force negotiation, it has to write its own. Not you hit, I hit, but move that defines battlefield entirely. Because as long as Iran mirrors, target Israel's perception, not just damage. So far, the war is about bases, oil, missiles, but those are replaceable. What is not? The belief that future is controllable. Israel still believes it can manage this conflict. That belief has to be broken, and until it breaks, negotiation is optional. Force decision, not response. Right now, Israel only reacts. It doesn't have to decide. That's power. To change that, Iran would need to create a situation where Israel must choose between two bad outcomes. Not just absorb the attack, because negotiations happen when decision pressures become unavoidable. Now here is the part nobody will say clearly. Right now, Iran is misaligned. its actual center of power in this conflict, because it is not forcing Israel into a position of decision. It is applying pressure around Israel through the US, through proxies, escalation cycles, but not directly to the point that Israel is forced to choose. So even when leverage exists, Iran should explore those, because by staying predictable, by staying inside controlled escalation, by avoiding the game, changing moves, it keeps the conflict within manageable limits for Israel, US, and for the global system. So instead of forcing Israel to the table, it is negotiating around it. Does now everything make sense? Why ceasefire failed? Why negotiations stalled? Why nothing resolved? Because Israel is not being directly forced. Iran is engaging the wrong center of power. Permanent instability, where war never fully explodes, peace never fully arrives. So no, Iran is not failing to bring Israel to the table. It was never the real issue. The issue is Iran is not playing the game. The decision is made. If Israel comes willingly to the negotiation table, then only the change happens. And until it does, nothing changes. No negotiations, no resolution. Because in Middle East, war is managed, peace is delayed, and stability is carefully controlled. If you are here for clarity over noise, hit like and subscribe. And stay tuned, we are just getting started.